Steve, it's turning into a fantastic season so far. Looks like we're safe. Are you confident that you can start planning for next season?
For people of my age that were at the game 94-95 season, was it?
Oh, when Oldham caught up. Yeah.
We went 9 points clear, 3 games to go. We did a lap of honour. Oldham beat Man United, Aston Villa. You know, when Aston Villa were pushing for the title or up there, never won 3 games in a row in their history in the league, and we lost all our 3. And I was there on the last day. Oh wow, Arsenal. Right, he scored, and we had a good first half, and then we imploded in the second half. So it's hard for me to say I don't want any complacency. The manager doesn't want any complacency. For the first time in a long time, I really feel like we're in a good place. So let's hope we can cement it, and then it's really good because we can start our planning earlier than we've ever been able to do it before. I think we're in a different position than we have been before in terms of attracting players. I'd like to think we've made ourselves over the last 2 seasons, we've made ourselves a different proposition in terms of how we're perceived.
Looking ahead to next season, if we're in the Premier League, what do you think is a realistic aim? Do you think top half finish? Is that realistic?
You know, when we start next season, the first priority will be getting to 40 points and staying in the league. But I think we've got to start looking upwards and feel like, you know, we've got a good squad. We're not a surprise package anymore. You know, people know that they're going to have a tough game when they play us, and we're not just hard to beat. We've got flair, you know, and we're exciting. But it's hard work that's got us there, and a great group of players. And the icing on the cake is obviously the right manager now. So 10 years' time, if we're still in this league and we've got a new main stand or new training ground, that will be success for me. So we're not complacent. We've got a lot of work to do.
Now on to the elephant in the room. It's been in the press a lot, potential takeover. Obviously, you can't go into too much detail, but you're still going to be my boss next season?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry. Listen, the investment we need to move the club forward, and it might need bring people in. Papers love using words like takeover, picking out certain individuals that might be involved from one group, and they get snippets of information and they build them up into a set of facts that are sort of true, some of it, but not really. I'll still be here. I think, as far as possible, the other 3 guys would like to remain invested. But I think, you know, we all recognise that a broader investor base, more people, so everybody has to put in slightly less money, would help us go to the next stage. I'm pretty confident that Alan, the infrastructure we've got, and me working with them, we've got as good a chance as 14 teams of staying in this league every season. That's how I feel. So if we do our job, we can do that out of the resources we've got. But to build a new stand or stadium, to improve the training ground quickly, if we can find the right people that share the vision for the club that we've built, that will enhance it, then if it's the right thing to do, we would do it. But nothing's done. We might do something. If it's not right, we won't do it. Unfortunately, it's got out 6 months ago. It was definitely going to be done next week. 4 months ago, according to the press, it was going to be done the week after. 3 months ago, it was going to be done. A couple of weeks ago, it was going to be done last Monday. It's speculation masquerading as fact. And people don't understand, a lot of people don't understand that the governance of a business, i.e. who runs it, isn't necessarily linked to shares. You know, it isn't. You can have an economic right because of a shareholder in a business, but the person that runs it can have a lot of autonomy, or the 2 or 3 people that are running it can have a lot of autonomy. So it's frustrating because people want to paint a picture that they want to paint. Another American owner, blah, blah, blah. So they piece some facts together and some suppositions and write a story. So most of the time you just block it out. The takeover thing's been disappointing because that word alone isn't really right. Kind of, you know.
Additional investment.
Yeah, I mean there is an element where other people along with me will have decision-making powers. You know, for me it's more just broadening the investor base, bringing in some expertise and knowledge from other sports. But that's not really a story, is it? Not as exciting.
How have you found being a chairman this season? Has it been a lot different to last season? Do you feel like you're learning all the time?
I think being a chairman, it's like Groundhog Day for me every season, isn't it? More or less. Get a manager, lose a manager, get a new manager.
They're getting better though.
Yeah, look, you kind of... Unfortunately, sometimes in every business, you have to get somewhere before you can attract the people that you want. So people don't always see your vision or believe in or they don't need to. They don't need to take that kind of a risk. But I think that we're less of a stepping stone club now and more of a place that people would consider coming and putting roots down and spending some time. And obviously that's what we've seen with Alan. You know, we never would have been able to take Newcastle's manager until we got to where we've got to. So, but I enjoy it. I've said countless times it's a privilege, it's an honour. It's my football club I've supported since I was 4 years old. It's a dream come true, really. So it's good. And as you know, the clubs, this kind of thing, the digital channel we've launched, the marketing efforts we're making, the improvements to the ground, with you accepted, we brought some great people into the club, you know. No, it's great to be part of something positive, and you almost have to pinch yourself from where we were 5 years ago to where we are now, and we have to remember that. We're hoping to have a new club shop in place for next year. It's a little bit touch and go because just of ordering it and getting it in place.
Is that a new building?
Yeah, so it'll be a new building in the car park. Because as I said, the merchandising's gone really well this year. Mike Pink, who we brought in from Wembley, has done a sensational job when we had an outsourced partner and we took it back. We've improved basically, we've taken back virtually everything, you know, the catering and the retail catering. We've improved them all. And it's exciting, the design for it's quite exciting. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Finally, it's all about 5 years at the club. We've got the 5-year plan fanzine. You've been here 5 years. Where do you see yourself or even the club in 5 years' time?
I don't really do that. Just as far as, you know, I don't want to... We're just going to take it as far as I possibly can. Let's see how far we can take it. Let's try and be as good as we can possibly be. We shouldn't put a cap on it, really. You know, let's just make it better. Just starting to feel like a proper football club instead of a, you know, feel like you tell your mates you support Crystal Palace. You know, you don't go.
I think it's changed a lot recently. Whenever I tell my mates about Palace, everyone's excited. Neutrals.
I think we've got everything going for us, and what's really important is we don't get arrogant, forget what's got us here. Keep the essence of what we are, but make it all better.
It's a good point to finish on. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Cheers.